To start, for the warm-up, we're gonna do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off of a couple of movements, starting with jumping jacks. Pretty straightforward. Ski hops, find a point on the ground and try to just go over the object, over the point. Then we're gonna go into some high knees. So, started with butt kicks, guys. Sorry, high knees here. Then mountain climbers. As we do our mountain climbers, you're gonna find your high plank here. Shoulders stacked over the wrists, hollow body, and then pulling your foot up to your hand, alternating. Okay? Following that, we're gonna do some push-ups, trying to move our whole body as one object, not leaving the hips behind. So, shoulders over those wrists again, chest to ground, full body lifts up, chest to ground, whole body moving, not this teeter where we totally break at our midline. Okay? Then, stay low. We're gonna hit up glute bridges. We're gonna do 2 feet on the ground, hip width distance here on the feet. Focusing again, hollow, just trying to be engaged to the core so that we don't overextend in the low back in a weird way when we lift up. So glute bridges. 20 seconds here, then 20 seconds single leg. Try to keep your hips level and not letting one drop weird, okay? We'll go 20 seconds on each leg. And then we're gonna do all of that 2 times. So second round, everything 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, and this is button. Alright guys, after a bunch of that Tabata, we should be relatively warm, so now we're gonna get a little more specific. A couple movements again, 2 times through on this. We're gonna start with knuckle drags, back knee bent, front leg straight, so I'm stretching out this hamstring. You're gonna reach for the floor. Okay, let's go 10, 5 per side. Then we're gonna go for some airplanes, alternating airplanes, so just a hip hinge. You can add that soft bend in the knee here. Lean over, keeping your hips and shoulders both square to the ground. Stand, switch, stand. When you get to that 10th rep, go ahead and hold for 20 seconds. And then you'll switch and do the other side for 20 seconds. After that, we're gonna go to the floor for a plank. It's a combo, so we're gonna do 10 side plank extensions into 10 reach throughs. Shoulders stacked over the elbow here. Try to keep a straight line through your entire body to your toes. And then we're gonna drop, raise, raise. Okay, 10 of those. Then you'll take your arm, you're gonna reach through the back wall, reach back to the ceiling, through to the back wall, to the ceiling, and do 10 of those. Then go to the other side, then repeat all of that for a second set. Elbow windmill unweighted looks like this. Wide stance, one toe turned out so the knee can track over it nicely. The opposite arm is gonna go straight overhead with the wrist, elbow, and shoulder stacked. This hand will then go on the inside of the leg just to create a point of stability, some better proprioception through the movement. I'm gonna look up, press up, and then trace the inside of the leg, softly bending that knee as needed to increase my range of motion. Trying to get low, and then stand. Tracing the leg, slow and controlled, flexing my obliques to stand. 6 of those. With an object, let's say a backpack. Might grab middle of the backpack. This one has a nice amount of stiffness to it, so it's easier. Armed overhead, again in that stacked position. Other arm inside of the leg. You can go wider if you need to, say you have tight hamstrings, that's fine. Okay, soft bend of the knee as I lower down. Stand nice and controlled. No reason to rush the movement, guys. Okay, 6 per side on that. Then we'll switch to our RDLs. Still with my backpack, trying to keep my shoulders and my hips squared to the ground, just like we did in the airplanes in the warm-up. So here I'll grab both sides, stand on one leg. I'm gonna balance by grounding my foot on the floor. I want 3 points. Ball the big toe, ball the pinky toe, and my heel really rooted down so that I have better stability through the movement. Okay. Soft bend in the knee, shoulders pulled back, hip hinge, just below the knee here. Stand. Woo. Keep a neutral gaze as we go through this, and then stand. 8 per leg on that guy. 3 sets overall. All right, guys, moving on to your strength conditioning. One more time, it's 5 times. You're gonna do 3-minute AMRAP, 2-minute rest. Your AMRAP consists of 4 movements. Movement number 1, push-ups. We've already done it. So make sure we're still keeping that nice tight belly as you lower down and move your whole body as one object and not doing that bowing through the chest, compromising your midline. That might mean we need to do our push-ups to a chair or a bench or some kind of object, like an incline push-up. Totally fine. That would be a little more challenging than just going to our knees. The second movement is going to be backpack deadlift. So 2 legs on the ground this time, focusing on vertical shins and getting a nice hip hinge, right? Vertical shins rather than getting more knee action in our deadlift. That would be more relative to a squat. So we're gonna grab our backpack. Hopefully it's loaded a little heavier now, keeping our shoulders back as we push our hips behind us. We're gonna lower just below the knees. Stand. Just below the knees, stand. 10 reps here. We're not going to the floor just because the backpack is a little low for that. Once you finish 10 reps of that, you're gonna go for 20 jumping jacks, just like in the warm up, and then finish around with 10 single arm rows. We'll go staggered stance, single arm row here, keeping the shoulder stable, not chasing the weight on the way to the ground. So I would maybe have a second backpack for this portion, a little lighter than the deadlift, so I can have a good grip on it. Pull. Okay. We'll go 10 on each arm, and then continue to get as many reps as possible in 3 minutes. Rest 2 minutes, 5 times over. All right, guys, a little bit of cool down for us today. Let's start just mobilizing our spine after all of that. So we're gonna go for a side lying book. The way I do this is I lie down, arms together, shoulders and hips are in one line, stacked, and then I'm gonna relax my head and open up to the side. Close. Open up back. Close. Each rep kind of improves on the last. Going for 10 reps. Cool. Do that on each side. Then we'll flip over, do our scorpions, tee out your arms, reach opposite foot to hand. 5 per side. 10 total. Last thing will be a figure 4. So you can have a wall for this or any other object. Have one foot on, the other foot crosses on top of the knee. And we're stretching out that hip here. Hold for about 1 minute each side. You can also opt for pigeon if you prefer.
Can you take to make 5 push-ups happen? All right, and today's special challenge of the day is how long can you make 5 push-ups last while constantly moving? So there's no pause at the top, no pause at the bottom. It's just slow, concentric and eccentric. So going down, and so forth for 5 reps.